Viewer discretion is advised for this educational documentary. Welcome back to Case Documentaries. If you didn't know, I post true crime, disturbing stories and other things that you may later regret knowing. And I'm uploading daily until the end of the year, so subscribe and ding that bell to join the Dark Case family. My Patreon is linked below, but obviously there's zero pressure to support me there. It just helps me out massively. However, if your name is on screen right now, then you are a legend. Let's get straight into today's Dark Case. WCPO journalist Elaine Green began her path to TV notoriety as a model on the long-time aired popular US talk show, The Mike Douglas Show, which began broadcasting in the early 1960s. Elaine was then hired in 1969 by Al Shuttlecott to be a fashion reporter for WCPO. Elaine and Al would later become an item. Being a fashion reporter was a position that required plenty of knowledge on the subject, but few real journalistic skills. However, Elaine had a natural talent for being in front of the camera. She quickly built an easy rapport with people, and so her interviews came across as very natural. Partner Al saw her promise, and so he personally trained her to be a news journalist. So no matter her route in, she really did seem born to do this. She took to news reporting like a duck to water, a position she would stay in for over a decade. WCPO really became her home from home. She had dreams of one day marrying her partner and boss, Al, as well as starting her own production company and becoming a real media powerhouse. She was more than settled into the news station, covering stories throughout the entire 1970s. On the morning of October the 15th, 1980, whilst outside in the parking lot of WCPO studios, Elaine came face to face with a man that would shatter her world. This man was named James Hoskins. Very little is actually known about his background, but he was born in 1939, and he had a girlfriend, a woman named Melanie Finley. What we do know though is that James had plenty on his mind. James apprehended Elaine whilst wielding a 9mm semi-automatic rifle and 5 revolvers. Elaine was now James Hoskins' hostage, along with the cameraman who was also in the parking lot. James wanted to take over the airways, but it was 2 a.m. Elaine thought on her feet. The man wanted to make a live statement, and who was she to argue? He was the one with the guns. Elaine did, however, make a counteroffer. Instead of a statement, she would interview the man. WCPO was a big station signed by the EW Scripps Company that also covered Ohio, reporting on many important items daily, all of them scheduled. So Elaine, thinking on her feet, did well to steer him to the interview. Regular viewers tuning in that day must have been a little taken aback when the show began. It started suddenly with a live broadcast.
Case?
Well, I really didn't have anything together, but there's been so much violence, and I don't know, it's gotten to the point that the police they have these magnum weapons now. They can't hit with them. They keep blowing people away, and it's just a lot of things that really get me upset. But it's turn off for a second. Let me get my act together here. There's not enough attention paid for the poor people in the over the Rhine area, and there seems to be in the country a growing kind of thing to keep black and white at each other's throats, to keep the rich on top, so the poor people have no way to fight. The police have become the knights, the buffer between the rich and the poor. And the poor, I don't know if you've ever been over the Rhine area to see the old people. They have nothing. I watch them. They have nothing. They sit in their bed all day long, and that's all they have to look forward to. Nothing's happening for them. Nobody cares. Nobody does anything for them. And if the court system is the same as it used to be, blacks, poor whites, always get the shit end of the stick. And it's just, it goes on and on. It goes, there's it seems like the things you should be covering, you don't cover. You don't. You never come into the area unless somebody gets wasted. They're displacing people. They tear the buildings down so that when the people come into the convention centers, they don't have to look at the poor people. They come into the new hotels that are being built. They're not going to have to look at the poor people. You know, it's all those things. I mean, it's so much shit. I should have written something out. It's just an impromptu thing. We decided to do it. And the violence has gotten me to the end, and I can't comprehend it anymore. So I see the people. They get their paychecks on first of the month. They get mugged. And I think the reason they get mugged is the people are desperate. They don't know what to do. So they attack what's convenient. These people are convenient. Let me get a drink of water. It just seems if you could do something for these people. It's so frustrating to watch the poor people. Nobody cares. I'll try to keep the four-letter words out. No one cares. I watch them daily, you know, because my studio's down here. And I watch these people down in the street. They're fighting over nickels and dimes. And it just seems, you know, you watch the politicians, they got the same old bull. Reagan's got the same bull. Carter's got the same bull. They're not helping the poor people. They make a lot of promises at campaign time. What we've got to vote on is issues, not people. When we start voting on issues, then we'll have democracy. We do not have democracy at this time.
Have you called us with any stories that you have seen that you wanted us to cover?
Why?
Why not?
You wouldn't respond.
Do you know that many of the stories we get are from people who call?
Really?
Yep.
I can't understand why people haven't called before.
Well, sometimes people do, and we do cover the stories.
It should be covered more often. It should be covered until people are sick of it, until they do something about these poor people. There are people down there, I mean, it's like a cliche, you know, with the rats and the roaches. It's become a cliche, and people don't want to hear it. And here's the other thing that pisses me, well, that makes me mad, that makes me angry. We have people like Pimbauer, okay, ripping off the poor people through the Social Security or Medicare, whatever it is. So the first thing that politicians yelp is that the welfare recipients are ripping off. They never touch the money. Poor people keep money in circulation. Rich people hoard money. Give it to the poor people. Give them some kind of a wage other than what I call sub-existence. It's not subsistence, it's sub-existence. These people have nothing. And I get so sick of it. It just, you know, it irritates me.
That's where your studio is? That's where you work?
Over the Rhine area. I watch it daily. I watch these people groveling, kicking each other, and they only kick each other because they have no one else to kick. They're frustrated.
Can you see this world from your window?
I can see the world from my bay windows, up and down the street.
Possibly a story could be done from your window of your world.
I won't be there in my windows after this, I'm sure. Maybe you can do it from my windows, but I won't be there.
All right, what else can we do for you, Jim?
Well, there's more than that. It goes on and on. I think if somehow people could learn to be autonomous, just break away from leaders. We don't need leaders like Reagan and Carter and Anderson. We need people like, come on in.
Ralph, you.
It's okay. Nobody's getting hurt. Just come on in.
Ralph,
Hey, come on in.
you better come on in.
Come
Ralph.
in, please.
Come on in. It's too late now. Grab your seat over there.
Sit down.
Park it over here so we keep everybody together. I don't intend to hurt anybody, so don't be, you know. It's, you know, it could be me too. It could be my problem. Maybe I've gotten too concerned with it. But you watch this. I've been living there. I guess I came from San Francisco. I lived there for a year and a half, and lived in an art commune out there. Came back and immediately saw, you know, the area just. These people, nobody helping them. The drop-in center helps some, okay? And what is the people from Music Hall, what's her name, Lazarus, Irma Lazarus, they've all tried to close the drop-in center. You get programs going and the people want to close it because it's an eyesore. Granted, these winos are, as somebody described in the newspaper the other day, slobbering and all this, but they need help. They need help like everybody else. But mainly just the poor people. If you could only give the poor people something. If you could, tonight, I think it was on your Channel 9. What's the guy's thing that always starts out, I could be wrong? Is that Channel 9? He starts off on prisoners. Prisoners are people too. You know, prisoners, to me, they're always talking about rehabilitating. These people have never been habilitated. You can't rehabilitate someone that's never been habilitated. They need a chance. But he talked about them, because they're painting their cells. They're trying to help them a little bit. He talked about it like it was, it's some waste of the public taxpayers' money. There's a lot of waste of taxpayers' money. Other than painting the cells of what was it, Lucasville? Why don't they build a few more prisons so they can separate them a little bit?
So what you're asking us is you want us to cover different kinds of stories. Is that what you're saying?
The people that really need covering, and not write off people because they're prisoners, not write off because they've made a mistake and they've wound up in prison. Don't write them off. Don't write off the poor people.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Are you putting some responsibility on
all the media? This was convenient.
You know where we were tonight?
No.
We were at General Hospital, and we were filming a story on a surgeon removing some kidneys from a cadaver, and those kidneys are going to go into two people. It's going to save their lives. Two people who are needing help. Mm-hmm. And we're going to tell the people about that, because if they know more about that, maybe other people will donate their kidneys or their eyes or their hearts or something to help somebody else. That's a helping story. That's not a negative story.
Well, I'm not saying that you always do negative stories. I'm just saying that I don't think there's enough attention paid to the truly poor people. Like all the radicals from the 60s, where are they now? Where's Abby Hoffman, Jerry Rubin, Eldridge Cleaver? Where are all these people? They're the establishment now. They're hustling bucks. They don't care about the people anymore. When I was in San Francisco, Bobby Seale was running for mayor of Oakland. And he was the only one I considered a real revolutionary, and I couldn't believe it. Here he is running as a mayor for Oakland, doing a whole weirdo number, sucking with the people. Just sucking, just sucking. I couldn't believe it.
Jim, we have probably another minute or so on this tape. Is there any other point you wanted to make?
I can't think of any point I want to make, except give me a place where the police can come and get me and we're going to shoot it out. And you people can leave.
Here?
Well, I don't see any other place for me to shoot it out. They've got their magnums. They want to hurt the poor people in the street. I've got my magnums. I'm ready. I'm loaded.
How would that help him, though? All these idealistic things you just said.
He seems such a nice gentleman.
Yeah, you could do.
I blew my girlfriend away tonight. It's over for me. We had planned to do big things. We had planned to take your station. And through madness, disagreements, and just madness on my own part. I'm on disability. We used the disability initially. I used it. We learned in San Francisco. This is a hustle. You learn to use disability to buy weapons. You grow dope to buy weapons. People are arming. Everybody's arming. And in the process, somewhere along the line, through taking Valium, tons of Valium, and some other kind of weird drugs, just trying to keep in there so they continue to give me the money so I could buy. I bought all kinds of lathes. I laid out silencers, passed them on to other people. Had a whole factory of milling out mines, landmines, all this crap, and just we'd been doing a lot of things, and just I can't say if it was the drugs. I've done angel dust. I've been into drugs. I shot her. She's dead.
How can we help you now?
You can't. I'm dead, man.
What do you want to do now?
Give me a place to fight them.
Do you want to go out in the parking lot?
That's too easy. I want them to have to come through doors to get me.
Do you have a suggestion? May we leave, Jim?
Certainly. I don't want you hurt. I told you that in the very beginning. I'll return this man's revolver.
I don't think you want to be hurt either. I really don't.
We don't want to see
I
you
have no
hurt.
choice. I have murdered my girlfriend. I have been taking this weird drug. I am out of my mind,
But
man.
you can get help.
I can't. We planned. We did all these things. This whole thing was planned back in San Francisco. It was all started out.
We don't want to see you hurt.
You don't want to see me hurt, but they're going to hurt me. There's no way around it.
You gotta have faith. We're trusting you. You're trusting us right now. You don't believe in people?
That's what, over the period of time, I've become paranoid. I tell you, the drugs or the angel dust people turn me on to angel dust. They did numbers on me in San Francisco that I ran from one end of the place to the other. Tripped out in the 60s on acid. Couldn't do anything for maybe 5 years. I know that I'm slipping away.
Can't we help you before you slip in? You don't want to slip completely
I'm
away.
gone. I'm gone. All they'll do,
I don't know.
there is no help for me. Look, I murdered my girlfriend. God damn, man, I killed her. I'm trying to hold it together. I killed her.
We want to help you.
We had planned to do things together, and I went berserk. She's dead.
All I can say is you don't seem like the kind of person like to say, if you don't want to hurt us.
I don't want to hurt you. I would like you to leave. I just want the police. They're always hurting poor people. Let them come and hurt me now.
That wouldn't solve anything.
It won't solve anything, but I've killed my girlfriend, man. What am I going to do?
But it wouldn't solve anything, though.
What am I going to do?
Can we get some help from you? We have friends.
You cannot get any help from me. They are going to take me. They're going to put me in prison. They're going to put me in there. They're going to put people in there where they rape you. They turn this thing off so you don't get these four-letter words.
After ending the interview, Dale Menkhaus from the Cincinnati police SWAT team could now begin negotiations. Menkhaus recalled the moment in a later interview, describing Hoskins as one of the coldest people that he had ever encountered. In a monotone voice, Hoskins told Menkhaus, "Well, it's time. I'm going to do it now." Before a gunshot was heard on the other end of the line, all 9 hostages were released unharmed, and 12 hours after the ordeal started, police finally entered, but only to recover Hoskins, who, during negotiations, had calmly ended his own time on this earth. Because he met his end on his own terms, we may never truly know his motives. But after examining the home he shared with Melanie, police believe that Hoskins was indeed a terrorist. He wasn't lying about that. They found his at-home machine shop in the attic, with hollow point bullets that had ricin tips. He also kept extensive files on prolific people. His files were labelled political creeps, business creeps, and police tactics. 1 year later, Elaine Green would take on another interview. This time it was the ex-wife of James Hoskins who made a concerning statement. She said that his behaviour on that day did not surprise her, apart from one thing. She was just shocked that James didn't kill Elaine. When interviewed, the hostages present that day agreed that everyone survived simply because no one did anything stupid. Elaine Green received a Peabody Award in 1981 for her bravery and professionalism throughout a difficult interview under duress. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit like if you appreciate what I'm doing here. I'd love to see your thoughts about this case down in the comments. And remember, I am posting daily for the rest of the year, so please check back in tomorrow. Be careful out there, and I'll see you soon.